Do you really know just how heavy 24 hours of metal music really is? About the weight of your mobile phone. Download our free andrewhogue.com iPhone and Android apps now. That way, you'll never be far away from us.
This is Andrew Hogue for andrewhogue.com, still Australia's only 24/7 metal radio station. Now, this is probably, I'd say, one of my most interesting interviews to do, purely because the members who are with me speak zero English, but I have their translator here, Usko, who's going to translate to the band. We're talking about Mongol superstars, The Hue, who are back in Australia for a bunch of shows, and also on the eve of the release of their second album called Rumble of Thunder, which is out on the 2nd of September. So welcome to the program, Odko Temka, and of course translator Yusko. Hello, people. So let's get underway here. Like I said, this is going to be an interesting conversation, but let's have a bit of fun with it. So I guess the biggest question mainly is to how important is keeping the traditional sounds of Mongolian music in the Hue sound, because it's so dominant, and that's what makes it sound so refreshing as a band in the climate of heavy metal today.
All right, so we're gonna keep it on every song, cause like that's the only difference that makes us really special and the rest of the the metal rock thing. Cause like the Hunu rock genre is like totally a new genre that we came up with, like to specifically our producer Dashka, who is that just came out with it. So yeah, we're gonna keep it like for a long time.
Yeah, as I mentioned, that's what makes the band so refreshing, because there's only a handful of bands that start to use their own cultural sounds in their music. I know a lot of Japanese bands do it, which is great. Sepultura is probably the most obvious back in the Roots era, when they started to add their Brazilian sort of roots into their sound. But whereas the Hue, when they came out the last couple of years, you just think, what is this? And that's what's refreshing about a band like that. What's their response to their people in their home country? Do they support heavy metal and their version of heavy metal with the Mongolian sort of sounds?
Okay, so yes, our Mongolian fans are like really happy about it, and just to make sure, we're not the first band that came out from like Mongolia as using as this metal rock thing, because like there was different band before us. It's called like Alten Org. So they're like a Mongolian band, but they use like Mongolian traditional instruments to play Western rock music. And I think the special thing about us is that uh, our producer Dashka like came up with this new tune that plays the Hundu rock, the styles. So like it's a new tune plus new styles. Even the singing is like different than the rest of them. That I think that's why like we're like so different about others, and also like why it's so refreshing about us.
So in the age of the internet, where you can discover any band, what were the, I guess, two most important Western bands that influenced members of the Hue to play music?
Одоо интернетийн орчин үед амьдарч штэ. Тэгэн гот өөрсдөө чинь хувьд одоо ингээд зүгээр YouTube дээр л хамтлагуудыг олчиж болж штэ. Тэгэхээр өөрсдөө чинь хувьд яг ингээд нэг тийм тодорхой хоёр ийм ямар хамтлаг байсан бэ гинэ. Одоо нэг энэ рокийн энэ нэг татагдах талаасаа өөрсдөө чинь ингээд татагдсан. Хоёулан гасчихсан гэж. Яг нэг хоёр хамтлаг гэж нэрлэв.
Тэгж асууж байгаа юм. За миний хувьд болохоор зэрэг олон жил сонсч байсан American Paramore гэдэг хамтлаг байсан. Paramore хамтлагийг сонсож айгуу тийм рок хөгжимд нэлээд дуртай болсон. Хоёр хамтлаг гэсэн те. Тэгээд өөр нэг нь болохоор Paramore.
I understood those bands, but they're not well.
Yeah. So from Otkar's side, everything like started with the Paramore. That's the band that kind of like the main band that he got into, like why he got into rock. And second band he liked was the Foo Fighters. And for Temka, it was Coldplay, and for second it's AC/DC.
And when did they decide to get heavier? Because those bands, as I said, aren't metal, but when did you go deeper into music for making heavier music?
Okay, so for both of them, like it's since like when they were 10 years old. That's when they like started like really got into rock. Okay, so for Otko, it's like for the last 5 years, like where he got into like hard metal. And for Temka, like it's been like since he was like 15, 16 when he got into rock. And he still listen like bands such as like Pantera and Slipknot, the hard rock bands. And he feels like like even though there's a different genres like that branched out of from like rock genre, he still kind of like hears those like rock elements when he hears those songs. Cause like even though like it's a soft song, he just hears it. So like he feels like the rock genre is like basically the root or the base of like those songs. Yeah.
Are the bands surprised by the response they've got from, I guess, the Western world? Because they seem to be blowing up quite big in many other areas of the world, especially coming to Australia again. And are they sort of thinking, wow, how is this possible, breaking out of their own country?
So it was like really shocking for them, and also it was like really amazing at the same time. And cause like when they went to like this festival that happened in Germany, they were like shocked. Yeah, cause like there was like a lot of people. The audience was like crazy. Ямар мэт shows. Rock am Ring, yeah. And they just feels like they came out in the right time, in the right moment. Cause like last couple years, like personally he feels like the rock music, like the rock genre was like going down, and after they came out, it was like a fresh air. So like people like started to like understand like rock genre more in the right way. So yeah.
Now, the band is about to release record number 2, Rumble of Thunder. Was this a difficult follow-up from is it Greg? Yes. Yeah, was this a lot more pressure to make better record than the Greg?
Одоо нэг анхны цомог чинь гэрэг гэж гарсан шүү дээ.
Wake up.
Тэнгуут нэг гэрэг цомог чинь одоо айгүй хамжилттай тавьчихсан. Тэгээ тэнгуут хоёр дахь альбом маань ингээд хийж яхад чаа. Okay, yes, of course there was a pressure because we had like, a lot of achievements from our like first album, the Garrick, and not just like in America and Australia, like globally, like we were breaking like taking a lot of achievements from like iTunes and everything, and like for the last couple of years, the COVID-19, because of it, like a lot of people were like having difficult times, right? But from like an artist point, it was like really positive time for us, because like it gave us that extra time to like work on our new album, like because like for some of the songs, even though we finished, like we had like time to like work on it again and to perfect it. So like for example, like our producer Dashka, he came out with like the lyrics, the music, basically like with everything. So yeah, and we're sure that it's gonna be like really amazing.
Well, it is certainly an awesome record. As I mentioned, it's out on the 2nd of September. Now, does the band hope to educate more people about their country? Because like I mentioned, the influences are very strong. Is just another way for people to learn more about Mongolian culture?
Yes, of course. That's like one of the main goal of the thing we're doing right now. Because like not just like music from like music side, like in different side, like Mongolia is like really historical place. Like we have a lot of history in our country, and also these guys are the cultural ambassadors of Mongolia. So yeah, that's like their job to do kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yes, cultural ambassadors.
Wow. Doing double duty, spreading culture and metal. Yes. So what is one band that the Hugh would love to tour with? Like they have like a dream band they want to go on the road with.
Одоо бүр яг ингээд тур суух хийхийг хүсэж байгаа тийм хамтлаг байна гэнэ.
Байгаас тээ. Чи нөгөө хэлээгүй гэж хэлэх. Түрүүний юм. Тэр чи одоо хөгжмийн шалгонтой өстэй. За яг цог за өөрийнхөө хэлчихдэг. Яг цог хийхийг хүсдэг гэвэл нөгөө Dream Chatter хамтлагт ортой өөрөө сонсдог болохоор Dream Chatterтэй бол бас гоё байх юм болов.
So from Otko, it's like a personal thing. He wants it to be like Dream Theater. And for Temka, he said this whole new genre is like totally new genre. So like even though it's like it belongs to rock, it can like adapt to many different styles. And a perfect example was Coachella this year. Even though it's like a pop culture kind of thing, like we were there on the stage, and so that shows us like, you know, like our genre can like adapt to many styles.
Crossover.
Yes. And for Temka, if he has to say one, he would say it's Metallica. Yeah.
So after the release of the new album, what's next for the Hue? Just a global domination?
Одоо хоёр дахь альбомны дараагийн хийх зүйл юу вэ гэнэ хэлхийг зөвлөж байна.
Манай бид нар зүгээр хоорондоо одоо ингэж хөгжилтэй ч юм уу эсвэл бэлгшээж ч юм.
Yeah, it's kind of like a talk thing that like happens between the band members in a group. Right now, it's like it could be like, you know, like for someone it might sound funny, someone just playful thing, but we like to say like we want to reach like every corner of the world that our king Genghis Khan haven't reached. So like we want like everyone to like know the Who. Yeah,
It's a good goal to have. Well, we thank the band for their time. I know this has been an unusual interview, but a good experience. We can get Odko and Temka to choose one song each from the brand new record. So what would that be?
анхудаа нөгөө ийм ярьсан гэж байгаа гэнэ. Ингээд ингэж байгаа. Яг нээр сонирхолтой байна. Тэгээд яг гоё experience болж байна. Тэгээд хоёрыг тус үртэй шинэ альбомынхаа нэг дуу сонгооч гэнэ.
Шкиото.
Black Thunder.
Outgo is Shikihoto. Temka is Black Thunder.
We're going to hear it right now on andrewhogue.com. All the best, and thank you for your time. I can't speak any Mongolia, otherwise I would say goodbye, but I have no idea.
Тэгээ яг одоо ингэ нөгөө нэг Shikihoto болон Black Thunder-ыг сонслоо гэнэ. Та бүхэн хүмүүст хэлж. Тэгээд all right, and for those who are listening under Hog, and also the fans who are listening to us, I would like to say thank you so much, and please enjoy the new album that's about to come out soon. And this was Temka and Otko.
And Usko, Translator.
And Oscar, yes.
Got to give you credit. Thanks, people.